where maybe I can help you today. If you are having problems bringing love into your life, or you've lost somebody you love and you want to attract an ex back to you, there are certain very important and easy things you can do right now. The number one thing that you have to do has to do with visualizing and intending through vibration. Okay, I'm very big on manifesting what you want with vibration, because like gravity, it's like quantum physics. It is a law of the universe. So the vibration you put out is the vibration that you will get back. So let's go to attracting a mate, or attracting a mate back that you want. Almost always what's happened when you've lost a mate, or if you can't find a mate to come into your life with you, is that you're lacking value. Now, I don't mean that you personally are lacking value, because of course you're wonderful, you're amazing, but you're lacking understanding and the value within yourself. You're not valuing yourself. Another way to say that is you're not loving yourself enough. Now you're like, great, thanks. I'm trying to figure out how to get love in my life, and you come back and say, you're not loving yourself enough. Unfortunately, for the good and the bad, this is the mirror that all spiritual practices talk about. When the people would come and talk to the Mayan priests, they would wear big mirrors on their headdresses, the Mayans, and so people would come in and they'd be like complaining about their neighbor taking their cow or something, whatever it is, right? Or I don't like this person, or I'm not being treated fairly. But the whole time they were talking to this Mayan priest, they were looking at themselves in the mirror. And the reason for that is because everything is a mirror of inside of ourselves. So if somebody's left you, you in essence have left yourself. So almost always the first thing that people want to do when somebody leaves them is to go chase them. But what that does is it causes you to go into even more unloving and devaluing of yourself. Unless of course you've done something really bad. If you've done something really bad, then the onus is on you. And this is what I would say. If you've broken up with somebody, for instance, the very first thing that you can do when you get yourself together is apologize for anything that you've done that is heinous, or, I mean, come on, we all do stupid things when we get like upset or passionate, you know? So there's chances are you said something, you did something that like might seem crazy or bizarre. So top it off with, write them a clean slate message. And that is pretty much, you just say, you own your own stuff and say, hey, sorry, been crazy, been doing this. I'm gonna work on that, and thanks so much for, I love you, we had a great time together, moving on. And when I say that, moving on, now a lot of my clients, when I tell them this, they're like, I can't write that, I can't do that, I can't do that. I'm like, but you have to, because you're moving on to a higher frequency, and in that frequency, you're gonna get love and everything you want. So a lot of times, sorry, this is kind of a circular thing, because like I said, one-on-one, everyone has their own different things going on. But what they all have in common, I can tell you now, is that more self-love for yourself is always the first step. If you don't have somebody in your life and a love in your life, or you've lost somebody that you love, the first step is to turn around and start taking care of you. And I mean mind, body, spirit you, because a lot of times people will be like, well, I thought, you were just gonna tell me some, spell or manifestation or like affirmation, and then my boyfriend would come back. I'm like, okay, yeah, that can actually work. However, we don't just send out intentions and dreams through our spirit. We send it out through our mind and our body. So therefore, if you're saying, i.e., let's get down to what we really want. We want a great relationship with somebody that loves and adores us. Okay, we have to start by having a great relationship with us and loving and adoring ourselves. So almost always, hate to say it, everybody, are you taking care of your body and eating well? Because I will have people come to me all the time that want some, 10 of a model, or some girl that wants some like movie star looking guy, and they are nowhere in the same league with them. Like they are, overweight, or have not taking care of themselves, eating well, or even like keeping up to date in their clothing. And it's like, if you want to manifest somebody into your life, that's wonderful, you have to be wonderful. I got news for you, you know what I mean? Unless you are like a multi-millionaire, the chances of you getting somebody way out of your league are they're slim. Because I'll tell you another thing, because if you do get somebody that seems way out of your league, I bet you they're nuts, because lots of people can look good, right? But then you get them around and you're like, oh my God, this person is stupid, or they have no soul, or they have no morals. So you want a mind, body, spirit love. You want it all the way around. You want to love their mind. You want to love their body. You want to love their spirit. Okay, now I'm bringing it back home. This is where we start with us. And people will say, what can I do? What can I do? Number one, if you have a breakup, write the clean slate, own your stuff, wish them well, and then you get to start over at neutral, okay? And that's when you turn it back to you. Because when you start to empower yourself, when you start working on your body, when you start feeding yourself good food, when you start meditating, when you start reading any kind of literature, nonfiction, just reading, expanding yourself, when you take up a new sport or a new hobby that raises your frequency, when you create something, a poem, art, quilt, music, you are raising your frequency. So I guess in essence what I'm trying to say, if you want to mate this year in 2017, or you're trying to attract someone back to you, the best thing you can do is raise your frequency. Because when you raise your frequency, what ends up happening is you also raise your light. So this person that you want, or the soulmate or great mate that you want, is gonna see you, because you're gonna be shining. You're gonna be shining. So, when it comes to character, character involves discipline, which means you have to be disciplined if you want to get what you want in life. Sloths that are lazy and haphazard about the way they look and the way they go through life, they get what they deserve, right? If you buckle down and start taking care of you, expanding your mind, taking better care of your body, taking better care of your spirit. I don't care if you're donating time, doing videos, to be an activist, whatever, giving back, you're gonna raise your frequency. That is gonna be the quickest way, my friends, to bring in the love of your life. And that's gonna be somebody you really love, mind, body, spirit, that you think is sexy and amazing, that you think has an amazing heart and soul, and that is like fun to be with, and that has a great mind. You want it all. You want healthy. You don't want unhealthy, right? So just also in closing with this, just remember, if you've split up with somebody, you get the miracle of the space. Because when you're in something, you can't always change it. But in the space isn't empty or dead. The space is full of the force. It's 99.99% of everything. According to Einstein, he thought the space was God, which means you are also 99.99% this wonderful, beautiful, loving force of the divine. So you can have what you want. If you have a wish, there's a reason you have a wish. God's not out there like, oh, well, I see you want that wish, huh, psych, you don't get that. That's not how it goes. If you have that wish, that means you have everything you need to get that wish. Please believe that. I've manifested so many wonderful things in my own life. I have tons of videos about it. It's almost like, I don't want to even like sometimes say things, because it's almost like bragging, because so many people are like, desperately in need of things. But you can go from desperate to bliss, and you're meant to. And it's not going to take years and years. But it does take working on your frequency. And that takes discipline. And in the end, that's the difference between somebody that has great character and doesn't. Either you're going to be the king or queen in your life on this chessboard of life, or you're going to be the pawn. But moreover, maybe you want to be the mover of the pieces. Wishing you a really great 2017, and may the force be with you.